So, YouTube family, Adam Pac-Man Jones been defending Shedeur just as hard as your guy, DJ Bless One. Salute to Adam Pac-Man Jones. But Adam Pac-Man Jones is telling the world that Kenny Pickett is about to get released off the team. We're going to show you the video right quick and how it correlates. Let's go to my man Pac-Man Jones, A-Town, all the way down. But let's go right now.
My sources says Kenny Pickett is getting cut, and they're keeping the two young guys with Flacco. Nobody want to trade for Kenny Pickett. Duh.
Nobody really saw what Kenny Pickett did because he didn't really play in a preseason game.
So he's a former first-round draft choice. That means his 2.6 and change contract is guaranteed. So they just can't cut him and walk. But when they traded for him, who'd they have on the roster? They didn't even have Flacco on the roster. They figure, okay, we'll draft one in the draft. We got Flacco, Pickett. All of a sudden, Shedeur falls to him at 5. Now they got this fourth one, and it's pretty clear that he will not be on the Browns roster. Whether he's cut, Adam, will all be contingent upon whether a team trades for him, but no one's going to trade for him and assume 2.6. The Browns will have to absorb some of that salary, if not all of it. So if a team sits there and say, we'll give you a 7th for him, but the Browns have to pick up 1/6, that's probably the best case scenario for the Browns right now. Do not start buying Kenny Pickett Brown jerseys.
Don't do it.
Man, we got to talk about it. Smash that like button, hit that notification bell. Welcome to another episode of I Smoke Hip Hop Live.
I've been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Niggas bless up on
My sources.
Yeah, his sources, man. Good afternoon and good evening to everybody, depending when this video upload. And by the way, Adam Pac-Man Jones, I gotta go reach out to you in Atlanta, man. Tell me when the AUB at. We gotta link up, man. I salute anybody going hard in the paint for what's right. Now, what's good, family? It's your boy DJ Bless One, the best one. Welcome to another episode of I Smoke Hip Hop Live. Let's get into full details of just pretty much everything that's like going on today. You can pretty much assume speculations, but Adam Pac-Man Jones and his co-hosts have been far correct about damn near everything they've been saying. Now, let's break down the breaking news coming from Adam Pac-Man Jones. He just revealed that the Cleveland Browns are getting ready to release Kenny Pickett. Then they brought an insider who made reasonable sense perfect. Now, he said it came directly from a source inside the Browns front office, and I'm here telling y'all that's the truth, bro. This move ain't just about football. It's about the pressure, the lawsuits, the collusion secrets that are coming out. Thank you to guys like me, Eric Dickerson, and some good content creators out there. And the NFL is trying to cover up their secrets. They're watching the missteps. They're seeing the videos. And guys like us are making perfect sense. You're going to get mad at what I say, but you'll never debunk what I put out there, what I present. You see everybody hating on Eric Dickerson. Where are all the conglomerates of the world of like ESPN? ESPN ain't talking about what Eric Dickerson just said. Why? That's the world leaders of sports. How come ESPN ain't talking about what Eric Dickerson just talked about? But the NFL knows it's about to come out, man. So Adam Jones didn't just make things up. He said straight up that somebody inside the Browns organization told him Kenny Pickett time is up. Now, let's be real. If this was really about competition, we would have seen it on the field, but this ain't about performance. This is about the Browns scrambling because too many people like me are talking. You got me, DJ Bless One, putting pressure on the media every single week, day. You got legends like Eric Dickerson dropping bombs and collusions in the leagues. You feel me? And now you got the Browns. They can't sit back and act like nothing is happening. I'm telling you, this is the year of exposing. Cat Williams told us what 2025 was going to look like, and I took heed to it. Yep, I took heed to it, and we're going to exasperate everything that needs to get out the way, bro. No more of this stepping, fetching behavior and trying to exceed a level of incompetence so you can really hide the disguise that it's not really about wins and losses. You hear me? So don't forget Haslam and the lawsuit pressure. Pay attention to that. Don't forget about Jimmy Haslam ain't making these moves out of kindness. He's not. He's making these moves because he's terrified of lawsuits. You got pressure from the NFL going down on his back, and they're looking at him like, you let us owners down. You were supposed to move more smoothly. And they looked at him like, that's right, he fumbled the ball. Your man fumbled the ball. They picked it back up and told him, we got to fix it and make it right. They've been seeing what the community been doing with Shedeur. You guys all seen Shedeur in the community.
My sources.
You seen nothing but love Shedeur has been getting.
I want to find a way to get a lot of the high schools free tickets, a lot of the kids, middle schools, everybody free tickets to come to the game. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know anything. I didn't talk to anybody about this. But, like, I just always had, like, instant thoughts. And I'm like, dang, that'd be cool if we could do it.
I mean, be real. This whole situation has backfired on the Cleveland Browns. They know what's coming. Guys like me said we're exposing everybody before the start. Well, right when the start of the season come, by the time it start, you're going to know my hands are the strongest than any receiver that ever lived, even stronger than Chris Carter to step in fetching. And you've been seeing it. God is good. Won't he? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Like, I'm telling you, man, at the end of the day, Jimmy is scared of them lawsuits coming, man, in the near future. You got Brian Flores already winning his case. You got that one fan who sued the NFL. Y'all not talking about it, but it's still in the works of a lawsuit that's going on right now with regular fan who saluted the NFL for collusion. Y'all not paying attention to it, but you'll see in the next year and a half, you'll see exactly what we're talking about. But you got Brian Flores already winning his case. John, well, he's going to win his case, and that's what they're afraid of, because John Gruden already won his situation in court with the federal system in Nevada. Now you got Brian Flores. What his victory was, the fact that, you know, federally and through the justice system, they actually took his case and the Supreme Court said it's enough substantial evidence. We got to move forward with it. I'm not saying he's going to win the whole thing, but if he wins, it's a phenomenal damage to the NFL. You cannot allow him to win. And that's why they did everything to damage his name with, you know, using ESPN and all their conglomerates of pundits to talk negative about Brian Flores. Remember that? It was a lot of brothers who were the ones speaking negative on Brian Flores. They were saying he's being a professional Vic, he's doing too much, he's a hypocrite. That if you can take people who look like them to denigrate them, it'll help the NFL bids to defend themselves against any lawsuit. This is the blueprint. This is the stitch. And I've been knocking it down one by one. We're not stopping. Do you hear me? Shout out to John Gruden, by the way. The NFL knows that they can't afford another big scandal. Look at the Kaepernick situation. He basically got bought off with the Nike deal. You don't think the Nike system was in the works with the NFL to allow him to leave? Think about it, guys. Something like what Kaepernick had was the most evidence that you needed of a collusion that's going on, where group of wealthy billionaires conspire against their said so employees. But a lot of you guys don't look at NFL players as employees because you do have a plantation mentality. Maybe not on purpose. You're probably a good guy, but subconsciously you go with the grift, not the drift. But let's continue with this. So they know another big scandal is coming. So Haslam and the Browns front office, including Andrew Berry as well, are trying to move pieces around and act like they're doing the right thing. But nah, we see it. We see through that. People who don't even watch football, who follow me and many content creators, they see it. It's not a secret anymore. This is about liability. This is about saving face before the hammer drops. Shout out to everybody watching. I don't care about Kenny Pickett like that. I don't even have hatred for Kenny Pickett. when I speak on these guys, it's more about coaches like Kevin Stefanski, who got 2 times NFL Coach of the Year. I know how did he get Coach of the Year 2 times with the Browns, and both times were a losing cause? But I don't want to get into people's privilege, but let's move forward. When you got the community loving Shedeur like that, people who are white, black, Spanish, Asian, the whole entire community, Shedeur has them by the hands, bruh. And they're understanding, bro, you can't just get rid of this guy. Now, I told you the truth. I don't care whether they got rid of Shedeur or not. I want them to get rid of Shedeur because they're not doing fair with Shedeur. They're not developing him properly. They're not allowing him to get acclimated with the first team offense at all. The coaches, literally, you can see they don't have him with their best interest. So why would I want him to stay with the Browns when I know it's going to be damages done? Now, for him to stay with the Browns, I would like to see a new front office, a new coaching staff, and I want Jimmy Haslam to hurry up and sell the team like he already plans to do, because he's already dealing with NBA money with the Milwaukee Bucks. He has other aspirations other than the NFL and the Cleveland Browns, the lowly Cleveland Browns. Look, if you are a Cleveland citizen and a resident, I don't really come at you guys like that. I'm coming at your organization, which you should thank me for, because a lot of you guys had decades upon decades to do what I'm doing, and you stayed with a mouth shut. You either remain neutral or you were a tip rider for the Cleveland Browns organization, meaning you allowed them to let you succumb to below average, incompetent individuals, and you accepted that level of lesser than. I'm over here to make you guys greater than, because by me giving the community this medicine, it will force your organization to do better. If you know, you know. Look at the moves they've been doing. I already got hit up by Cleveland Browns representation. Dylan Gabriel, people hit me up to take videos down. So I'm on fire with it. I may not get the most views, but I'm not looking for the views. I want the hardest impact. That's it. We're the only ones who last. There's been many people who got more views than me in all these years on YouTube. Where are they now? Talking about dudes with 5 million subscribers. Where are they? Well, I'm getting the same views with hip hop platforms that got 5 to 7 million subscribers. You know who I'm talking about, and we get the same numbers. But God is good, man. Let's go a lot deeper on this with the NFL owner collectives. This isn't just about the Browns, y'all. This is about the entire NFL owner collectives. These owners move together like the cartel. It's not a union. And if it was a union, the mafia and mobsters during Jimmy Hoffa, that type of union, but it's literally the cartel, what I'm telling you. They're forcing the Browns to treat Shedeur Sanders fairly now. You feel me? Because they got caught. Not because they want him to shine, but because if their little collusion against Shedeur come out, then the whole system gets exposed. The entire system that they've had in place since day one. You're talking about damn near 7 decades. This is factual, y'all. You got to pay attention to it. Their whole system gets exposed, which I've been doing. I'm proud of myself. Let me give myself a pat on the head and the back right quick. I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of my supporters. You guys go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back right quick, because you did your due diligence to help me in this fight, this spiritual warfare against evil. Now, let's go a little bit further. If you look at the system, the corruption is bigger than one player, bigger than one team. They know if the truth gets out, every lawsuit that follows will cause billions, if not trillions of dollars. Think about it. These guys who are suing the NFL, or these guys who have an actual lawsuit, pretty much you have an overwhelming number of probably minimum of at least 50,000 football players alone over the years. That's just minimum, because remember, family members can sue too for a player who's no longer here. And now when you bring the regular fans into play, people who actually paid their hard-earned money, their blue-collar dollars, they can be allowed to sue as well. Oh, you don't believe it? This whole cartel system in the NFL will come crashing down. And they know the truth, bro. You cannot allow this to get out. Now, let's talk about Shedeur Sanders and others. And but listen to me. And let's be clear. Shedeur is not the only NFL player that they've colluded against. And we all know this already. We've been saying this since we're in elementary school. Let's just be honest. He's just the one they couldn't hide. Kaepernick couldn't even be amazing the way Shedeur have. Shedeur has done it gracefully. They couldn't hide it because the fans, the youth, like I showed you on those videos, the people of Cleveland already adopted Shedeur. This is factual. But there are countless other players who've been blackballed, sabotaged, and mistreated to protect the league's narrative. We've seen them do this with NFL coaches who are my complexion. Can we be honest? The pressure that lies with guys who look like us, and I'm not a professional, Vic, don't call me that because I'm telling you what's actually going on. It shows how, I'm gonna watch my words, but it shows you're a piece of, you know what. Let's continue with it. So we know these countless other players been sabotaged or whatnot, and the narrative that's been created by the NFL through their corporations like ESPN. We all know ESPN is owned not by Disney World, but by the National Football Association. Same thing with Fox Sports 1, same thing with CBS. I'm gonna say allegedly, but that's just for lawsuit reasons. But you know what? I doubled and triple dared them to sue me. Because then you would have to open your books and I'll show proof how they go and follow and step and fetch for the NFL. The NFL is a gazillion-dollar organization. When you find out how much it's really worth, it'll upset your stomach. That's power, ladies and gentlemen. That's the definition of power. Forget about generational wealth. No, that's power. Real life power. Do you hear me? But look, there are countless players, like I told you, who've been through the same thing, if not worse. But that's why I'm not letting up, y'all. I'm not letting up, especially on the leaders of football, ESPN. We're not going to let up. I'm putting more pressure on the NFL, more pressure on the Browns, and I'm exposing every culprit involved in this fiasco, involved in this cartel. You hear me? They tried to bury Shedeur, but in the process, they expose themselves. As usual, everybody, you ever seen negative people around you or even family members, they end up exposing themselves as people you should have never have around you in the first place. And look at them. Their life seems to be in chaos all of a sudden. And you never got on your knees and asked God to go against your enemies. No, but I do ask God for strength to handle my enemies, to handle family members who don't like me, who are using me for alternative motives, friends, everybody. So don't you think a guy like me who applies it to my real life, I would apply it to the NFL? Who wouldn't apply this brain of ours that God gives us of self-preservation and combat it against the groups of evil that lies there? I know you guys think I'm being extra. You're using terminology like evil, spiritual warfare. Well, I thought you believe in God. So now it doesn't count only when it fits your need and narratives. But that's the difference between you and I and my great, beautiful supporters. We know this is a spiritual thing. They know it's a spiritual thing. And you see the earth shaking right now. Won't God do it? Won't God do it? So let's finish out right quick. So when you hear Adam Pac-Man Jones report about Kenny Pickett being released, just know this ain't just football news. This is the NFL trying to get ahead of the truth. And we gonna keep the pressure on them until the collusion and everything gets exposed, the corruption gets exposed, the lies come out. Now, I want all my I Smoke Hip Hop Live family, just drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to I Smoke Hip Hop Live, because we're only just getting started right now. This has been something in the works, and I'm ready. I'm born ready.
I've been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I